If you have been eyeing one of the new Ubiquiti Wi-Fi 7 access points, but you got stuck the moment you realized the rest of the UniFi ecosystem comes with it, this video is for you. Today, I am going to show you exactly how I bolted a UniFi U7 Pro Max onto the network I already had. No Dream Machine, no UniFi Cloud subscription, no rebuilding the whole house, just the access point, working on the network you already own. Almost every UniFi walkthrough on YouTube assumes you are throwing away your existing router and going all in on Ubiquiti. Almost every one of them starts with first, plug in the Dream Machine. And I do not have a Dream Machine. I do not want a Dream Machine. I have a router I already like, and I just want a really good Wi-Fi 7 access point in my living room that should be allowed, and it is allowed, and almost no creator covers it. The U7 Pro Max does not care what router you have, whether it is a fancy PF SenseBox, an Asus, a Netgear, a TP-Link, or even just the gateway your ISP shipped you. The access point only needs to live on your LAN and reach a UniFi controller for adoption. That is the whole requirement. Any router, any switch with PoE, just plug it in. The second piece I want to debunk is the UniFi Cloud subscription. You do not need one. The UniFi network application is free software. You can run it in Docker, on your laptop, on a Raspberry Pi, on a $5 VPS, on a Synology, on a Mac Mini, sitting in a closet. Anything that runs Docker runs the controller. There is no license, no per device fee, no cloud account required. Let me walk through the gear I actually used. 3 pieces, that is the whole parts list. And once you see it, you will understand how minimal this build really is. The router on my network is a Netgate 4200 running P F Sense Plus. It is overkill for most people, totally optional. Use whatever router you already have. I am only mentioning the Netgate because if I do not, the comments will fill up with people asking what router I use. The point I want to make over and over in this video is that the router is interchangeable. Pick the one you like. Behind the router, I have a TP-Link TL-SG105PP-M2. That is a 5-port 2.5 gig switch with PoE++. About $140, fanless, sits in a basement closet. This is the unsung hero of the build. PoE is what lets the access point run on a single Ethernet cable, no power brick at the access point itself. If you do not have a PoE switch, you can buy a PoE injector for $20 and inline it. The U7 Pro Max ships without a power adapter precisely because it expects PoE, so plan for that. Do not get the box home and discover you cannot turn it on. And then the access point itself is the Ubiquiti UniFi U7 Pro Max. Make sure you grab the bigger Pro Max model, not the standard U7 Pro. The Pro Max is the one with the higher channel widths and the better antenna array, around $279 at the time I bought it. That is the whole hardware loadout. Router you already own, plus a switch with PoE, plus the access point, 3 pieces. Now the software, the UniFi controller. I run it in Docker on macOS using OrbStack, which is a really clean Docker runtime, way faster than Docker Desktop in my experience. The Compose stack is 2 containers. One is the Linux server.io image of the UniFi network application. The other is a Mongo 7 sidecar for the database. I bind mount a config directory into the application container so the state survives restarts. Spin it up with Docker Compose up-D. Give it about 30 seconds to bootstrap the database, and the controller web interface is sitting on https://localhost:8443. From there, it walks you through creating an admin account and a default site, and you are ready to adopt. There is one gotcha I want to call out, and it is a little annoying. By default, the controller advertises its container internal IP as the inform URL. That does not help an access point sitting on your LAN that needs to reach the host machine. You have to set system_IP in system.properties to the LAN IP of the Mac running the controller. After I did that, the access point picked up the inform URL and the adoption flow worked first try. If you are running the controller on a Raspberry Pi or a VPS instead of a laptop, you may not need this override at all, but on a Mac in OrbStack, you do. Now the adoption itself. This is the part that sounds fake. About 10 seconds, out of the box, the U7 Pro Max sits in a default state where it broadcasts a setup network and waits. I powered it on through the PoE switch, walked over to the controller, hit adopt, watched it provision, and then it was done. The whole thing took longer to plug in than to configure. I have set up consumer mesh systems that took an hour. This was 10 seconds. If your access point is in a weird state from a previous owner or a failed adoption, that is where the paperclip comes in. There is a tiny reset hole on the bottom of the device. You stick a paperclip in for about 10 seconds while it is powered. The LED cycles through a couple of colors, and you are back to factory state. From there, point it at the inform URL and you are adopted. Honestly, the paperclip recovery procedure is half the reason I trust UniFi gear. There is always a way back to a known good state. Before we wrap, I want to mention a free upgrade you should do once your access point is up, a second SSID for legacy hardware. Here's why. I broadcast my main network on WPA 2/WPA 3 transition mode, which is the modern standard, but I have got a printer from 2013 that absolutely cannot handle the transition handshake. It just refuses to associate with the network. Same story with smart bulbs, older sensors, anything from the early Internet of Things era. The fix is not to drop your whole network back to WPA2. The fix is to broadcast a parallel SSID, WPA2 only 2.4 gigahertz on the same LAN. I call mine Brian Labs 7-IOT. The printer joins that one. The modern devices stay on the modern network. Both networks see each other on the same subnet, and Apple's AirPrint just works across them. No VLANs, no segmentation, just a second SSID. It costs nothing extra, and it took me 10 minutes in the controller. And this is one of those things you only get with a real access point and a real controller. Most consumer routers either force a single security profile across the whole network, or they make you give up the same subnet. The U7 Pro Max gives you up to 4 SSIDs if you want them all on the same LAN, all isolated by security profile, no headaches. One honest caveat before the cost comparison. If you run the controller on a laptop like I do, the controller is unreachable while the laptop is asleep. Wi-Fi keeps working, devices stay connected, your network is completely fine. Only configuration changes and stats collection pause until you wake the laptop up. If that bothers you, run the controller on a Raspberry Pi or a VPS where it is always on. Same Docker, compose either way. Cost, a Dream Machine Pro Max is somewhere around $500. UniFi Cloud is a recurring subscription on top. If you have already got a router you like, you save the $500 plus the subscription, and you are spending around $279 on the access point, plus a PoE switch if you do not have one. So somewhere between $100 and $300 for the whole upgrade, depending on what you already own. That is a lot of dollars staying in your pocket for the same Wi-Fi 7. Quick recap, you can buy just the U7 Pro Max. You can run the UniFi controller in Docker on hardware you already own. You skip UniFi Cloud entirely, and you add a second SSID to keep your old printer happy without dragging the whole network back to last decade. That is the whole build. The link to the full written playbook is in the description, including the exact Docker compose file, the system_IP gotcha I mentioned, and the dual SSID configuration. If you found this useful, hit subscribe. I do a lot of practical home lab content like this. And if you have a different home network setup that you would not trade for a UDM, drop it in the comments. I want to see what other people built. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.